All right, so welcome to Coffee with Markus. This is episode 145, and in this episode, we will talk about trading options for a living. I'll show you how I made more than $52,000 in the past 8 weeks, and we will walk through this step by step. So, this will be a great episode because it's a question that I get all the time. Is it possible to make a living trading? And that's what I'm going to show you today. Let's get started. This show is about real money and real trades. I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade, the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent, because that is the key to long-term success in the markets. So, if you are sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. All right, fantastic. Let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I made $52,138 in 8 weeks by trading options. And you might be thinking, how the heck does anyone make that much money doing something so risky? And you see, the answer is simple. You need, number one, a solid trading strategy, which I will show you in this video. You need the right tools and you need the right mindset. So in this video, I'll break down all the steps from how to trade like a pro, where and how to find great trades, how patience is extremely important when making money, and more. So let's jump right in and let's actually go onto the notes section here so that I can take some notes. And yes, if you want, I'll make these notes available to you. Stay until the end of the show and I'll let you know exactly how to do this. So the key question that I'm always asked is trading for a living possible? And for me, this is a resounding yes. So let's just first of all start a little bit high level, and here is what you need, and then we will dig in and dive deep into these different things. So first of all, number one, what you need is a trading strategy, and we will talk about the trading strategy that I personally used to make more than $50,000 in the past 2 months here, and I'll show you how to do this step by step. But you also need to have powerful tools, and you will see why that is so important, and I'll show you exactly the tools that I'm using. And then of course we need to have the right mindset, and I know that mindset is probably the most boring thing to talk about it, so I will not spend a lot of time on this, but I will share with you the important things that I feel you need to know if you want to trade for a living. Now there's one more thing that you need, and this is money. And I kind of hate to break the news for you. If you don't have any money, you can put money into your account and you won't be able to make money. And yes, I made more than $52,000. And the key question that you need to ask at this point is, how much money did you put into the account? And this is on a $250,000 account. So $250,000 in cash, which I put into a margin account. So this gives me $500,000 in buying power. So this is extremely important to know, right? How much did I make on what account and also in what time frame. But so before we talk about the trading strategy, let me just add a very, very important disclaimer. No. These results are not typical. Yes, I am very, very good at this. I've been doing it for a long time. If you start trading this strategy, or if you start trading these tools, do not expect the same results, right? I mean, this, we will talk about it later. It is super important that you will actually start on a simulator first. Anyhow, so let's dive in, because I promised you that I will show you the strategy that I use to make these kind of returns, and we will go through this in detail. Now, if you have been following me for a while, this is the first step, having the right strategy. And the strategy that I like to trade right now is the wheel options trading strategy. So you might have heard me talk about this. I will put a link in the description to a playlist that I did around it. But today I also want to dig a little bit deeper and show you exactly what I'm doing here. So number one, first of all, what we are trying to do here is sell puts and collect premium. And so one of the questions is that, okay, when selling options, so how long? What is the expiration? And I like to actually go 1 to 2 weeks out. So today is a Friday, so I am right now willing to sell calls that are expiring next week. The idea here is to collect a weekly paycheck. And I'm putting this in quotation marks because, see, this is where some people told you that you can collect weekly paychecks with no risk. And that is simply not true. When trading, there is risk. And so I'll show you everything here on this channel. I'll show you my account right now, and I show you exactly what stocks I traded and also what stocks I have in my portfolio right now. Anyhow, so this is the first and most important thing. So what is the expiration here? And the second thing is you want to make sure that you trade only the best stocks. And what do I mean by this? Well, let me just show you the stocks that I traded in my account. And here you see Apple, AMD, Dropbox, DKS is Dick's Sporting Good, EWZ is, I think, a Brazilian ETF, GDXJ is the gold miners, Halliburton, Hasbro, IBM, JWN. You see, these are all super solid stocks. These are not stocks that are fly by night, right? Or you will not see any GME or AMC or BlackBerry or Bed Bath & Beyond or any of these meme stocks here. We're talking about super solid stocks, and I also want to show you the stocks that I have in my portfolio right now. So let's switch over to the iPad. So one of the stocks that I have here is GDXJ. And again, we are selling puts. Actually, let's start with DKS because this is a little bit easier here. So DKS, it's Dick's Sporting Goods, and I mean, super solid retailer, right? You might have heard about them. And the idea here is that we are selling puts at a strike price that is that is at support. And this is where I looked here at some short-term support. And I did a video on this on how to find the short-term support. But basically, you want to see at what price level did prices touch several times and then bounce back. And as you can see, here it is the 66 level. So I sold a 66 strike. And if we are staying above, then I keep the premium. If we are going below, in this case, we would get a sign. Now, another stock that I am trading right now is Snapchat. And here we're looking at a strike price of 49. And again, this is where you want to pick super solid companies. Now, Snapchat, I don't know about you. Do you have kids? I mean, my kids, they live on Snapchat. I mean, they're not on Facebook. They're not on Twitter. They're barely on Instagram, but they're on Snapchat. So I believe it is a super solid company. We see that we had support several times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, almost here a 5th time. So this is where I sold a strike price at 49. So let's go back here and I'll show you more examples in just a moment. But you want to make sure that you're only trading the best stocks and that you always look for support. And the support that I like to see is a support level at least over the past 8 weeks. Okay, a support level that held at least over the past 8 weeks. Let's go back here. So let's take a look at this right now as we are recording this video. It is March 12th, and this is where I'm going back, as you can see, to what? Around December 12th. So this here is 12/12. That's actually 3 months, so it's actually 12 weeks here, which is good. The longer the better, right? But the support that I want to see is at least 8 weeks. So 8 to 12 weeks is just fine. And again, if you're interested in the notes, I'll be happy to give you the notes. So wait until the end of the video and I'll let you know exactly how to do this. So this is step number 1. We're selling puts, collecting premium. The basic idea here is that we are buying stocks at a discount, or as many people would say right now, buy the dip. And this is something that has been working really, really well. It's something that Warren Buffett has been using for many, many years. And this exact strategy of selling puts is something that Warren Buffett has been doing for many, many years to scoop up stocks at a discount. But let's talk about the next step here. Let's talk about step number 2. Let me just see. There we go. So step number 2 is you may or may not get assigned. And what does this mean? So first of all, it means that if the price at expiration of the stock is below the strike price that you sold, then you have to buy the stock. And I'll show you some example here. Now, in this case, if this is happening, then you would go to step number 3, which I will share with you in just a moment. Now, if the price is above the strike price at expiration, and this is strike price, then nothing, you just keep the whole premium and you would go back to step number 1. So this is why it's kind of called the wheel, because we keep doing this, right? And now step number 3, when we are assigned, we will sell calls and collect more premium. So this is the strategy in a nutshell. And as you can see, it is not really complicated. The trick is really to trade only the best stocks. So I want to make this here in dark green, and you gotta look for solid support levels. Let me just show you a few trades that I've seen that I don't think are the best trades. So let me just go back here to my handy dandy iPad and show you a few other trades. So as an example, Workhorse. Some people have been trading Workhorse and sold the 38 put. And you see, this is where I think if you're doing this, yeah, if you're sold the 38 put, this is super aggressive. And if this part of your strategy is fine. If you look back over the last 8 to 12 weeks, where do we see support? We see support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times here, right? So this would be a solid support level. Now, Workhorse dipped way below there, but you see, you would not be in as much trouble if you're selling the support at 20 and then you can sell calls and collect premium. So this is absolutely fine here. What is another one that I saw somebody do? It's I can't remember. Oh yeah, now I remember. It's HYLN. So let me just show you this. I mean, first of all, HYLN, I don't even know what these guys are doing, right? And so I talked to somebody who actually here sold something like this, a 21 or 22 put right here. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't see any support here, right? So you want to go back over the last 8 to 12 weeks and see if there's any support. Now you might say, well, maybe there was support earlier, but honestly, look at this. I don't really think that there was a lot of support there. So make sure that you're selecting the right stocks, and I will show you in a moment of how to do this. So this is super, super important that you trade only the best stocks and you look for support. Otherwise, you can be in deep, deep trouble. Now, let's talk about the second thing that you need, because I said, here's what you need if you want to trade for a living, a trading strategy, powerful tools. So let's talk about the tools that I personally use. And if you have been following me for a while, you already know that the tool that I use is the PowerX Optimizer. Now, here are the two things for me personally that are super important when we are picking the right tools. So first of all, I want to have a scanner built in, and the scanner finds the best stocks to trade. Also, the scanner tells me what strike price to trade, and it also tells me what expiration. And you see, this is where the three important things you need to know. What are the underlying stocks, right? So I'm marking this here again in green, and I'm also highlighting it. Then you need to know, when you're trading options, the strike price. And the strike price is something that PowerX Optimizer tells me. And also which expiration. And when it comes to expiration, I already told you, in broad strokes, I'm only trading 1 to 2 weeks out. But should I trade this week's expiration or next week's expiration, right? This is super important. So therefore, this is where a tool helps me. Now, the second thing is, which for me is super important, that the tool actually has a calculator. And with this calculator, it tells me exactly how much premium should I get, right? I mean, how much risk is involved in this trade, right? So these are the important things. And then, of course, also how many contracts should I trade based on my account. So if you think about this, when you're trading options, you know the important things are that you know what is the underlying stock, that you know what strike price, what expiration, what is the minimum premium. You want, of course, to know the risk, and I'm making this red because risk is red, right? And also how many contracts you should trade. And marking this in green here really quick so that you see it. So let me show you exactly of what I'm doing here and how I'm finding these stocks. So here we see the PowerX Optimizer. I'm switching over here to the handy dandy iPad so that you can see it. And again, at first I want to show you the wheel calculator. I really stay on this just very, very briefly because I don't want to give you here a full tour of the software. If you're interested in the software and what it can do, I'll leave a link in the description. You can book a tour with Paul, who is a trader like you, and he'll be happy to walk you through everything in detail. But just so that you get the idea, so here, for example, if I'm looking at the scanner, let me just show you where it is and what we are looking at. So we are looking at the scanner right here in the bottom. This is where the scanner actually gives us a bunch of symbols that are candidates to consider right now. Now, one of the things that we need to do is we need to make sure that we only pick the strong stocks and that we only pick those that have a good support level. So one of the examples of a stock that I've traded recently is NEO. And when I click on NEO here, as you can see, what it does, it actually shows me in the data window right up here what strike prices I should consider right now. It also shows me what premium I can get and how much this would be annualized. So if we now switch over to a chart and we look at NEO and we see that we have a level, let me just zoom in a little bit. Can't zoom in right now. I don't know why. It's okay, right? You get the idea. Anyhow, so we are looking here at a strike price of around 37. So let's just do this. And what my iPad does right now, it does not respond at all. The good thing is I have a backup plan. So this is where we have everything here as well on the desktop. So let's go to NEO. And what PowerX Optimizer told me is that right now I could sell a strike price of 36. Let me just mark this here. And this is a strike price of 36. Right? And I would get some decent premium for this. Let me just make sure that I'm hitting this level exactly because I'm a little bit down here. So there we go. Now, we always want to go back over the past few weeks. And there we go. Now I can use my iPad again because I'll really love it if I can draw on this. By the way, do you find this helpful if I'm showing you very specific examples here for this stock? Because then I want to show you NEO on the iPad here really quick so that we can look over the past 6 to 8 weeks. Here we go, switching over to the iPad. We are going to the 36 level right here. Okay. And we are looking back over the past 8 weeks. So pretty much until somewhere around here, beginning of December, this would be 12 weeks. And you see it touched the level once, twice. There's another, didn't go as deep. Here it touched the level and then it bounced back. So what do you think? Does this look like a good level, the 36 level? Again, you want to look for very solid support here. And this is where, for me, this looks like a good trade. Now the next thing is, and this is where PowerX Optimizer helps you, that you see exactly here how much premium you can get, especially if we are looking at it annualized, right? And so let me just do the following. I want to get rid of, well, one of the things that I did, let's just get rid of Apple here and add Neo to the equation here. So now I'm adding Neo here, and again, what I want the software to tell me is, let's zoom over here. We're looking at this column here with Neo, right? What is the minimum option premium that I should get to get at least 30% annualized? Because for me, that's what I want to do. And this is how I was able to make more than $50,000 thus far this year. And it is only March 12th. And I started on January 11th. This is why, yes, I did it really in 8 weeks. It also, I want to know how many options should I trade based on my account? How much in premium would I collect? And what is the premium per day that I would make? So how much money per day do I make when trading this? And this is where we go back to why it is so important to have a tool that shows me all this. Because let me ask you, how else would you know all this? I mean, if you try to do this manually, I don't know. I mean, for me, this is almost impossible to do it. So, and believe me, no professional trader does this with only a calculator or a cell phone in his hand, right? So super important here when it comes to tools, you must know your numbers. Trading is a numbers game. Trading is a numbers game. If you don't know your numbers, it will be really, really difficult for you to make money. And the other key question is, if you don't have a tool, how else would you find these trades? How else do you find them? I mean, every single trade that I did in this account here that you see over the past 8 weeks that have yielded to, what, $52,000, every single one has been taken from this scanner. I mean, I would not be able, if you would force me right now to trade without the tool, I couldn't do it. I want to be honest, right? This is where I believe that having powerful tools like the PowerX Optimizer is giving you an unfair advantage. Because think about it. When trading, you are trading against other traders. So you don't have to be the best trader in the world. You just have to be better than the other traders. So you need to have an edge. And this is where I must say this tool is actually giving me an edge. And if you want, you can even say that it is not only an edge, you could call this, if you want to, an unfair advantage. And you see, when it comes to trading, I mean, play every ace. You don't want to show up with a knife to a gunfight, right? I mean, you're trading against the smartest traders in the world. So make sure. Now, this brings me to the last point here of how to trade for a living. And this is having the right mindset. Now let's talk about mindset. And this is something that many traders underestimate because they think, you know what, that's fine. I just need a strategy and I need a tool and I will just be fine and this is okay. No, this is not. Especially if you want to trade for a living. So the mindset for trading for a living is that first of all, you must be focused on what I call SRC profits. And this is what this stands for. It stands for systematically. It stands for repeatable. And it stands for consistent. So this is the SRC. And this is why this is so important. You see, as a trader, for me, at the end of the month, I'm wiring money out of my account, out of my trading account into my personal account. Sorry, I'm a little bit OCD here, so this is why, not OCD, I just have OCD tendencies. Anyhow, so this is why it's great when you have windfall profits. It is, you know what, if recently you participated in the GME, in the GameStop hype, and you doubled, tripled, quadrupled, maybe 10x your account, good for you, congratulations, and I really mean this. However, can you do this again this month? What is the next stock that is going crazy like this? Or if you have been able to capture in on the Tesla ride all the way up, good for you. But what happened when Tesla went from 800 to 500? Did you take a hit in your account? See, this is where it is super important to have these SRC profits. Now, another thing that is super important when it comes to trading for a living is that you have patience. And here's what it means. You gotta grow your account systematically. So, and how do you grow your account systematically? There we go. Yeah, if you don't have a trading strategy, this is why it's so important to have a trading strategy that produces these SRC profits, the systematically repeatable and consistent profits. So you see how it all comes together? I mean, this is why there's these three pillars: the trading strategy, the tools that are supporting your trading strategy, and the mindset. Now, the other thing is that when you are trading, patience means that you can't panic. And I talked about this several times here on the channel. And you see this where recently people started talking about these diamond hands. And I think the way how some people talk about diamond hands is just holding on to a losing trade. No, this is not the case. But basically what it means with patience is let the trade play out, right? And how do you let the trade play out? Well, you must have a plan. And you see, for me, it is so important to have a plan and to follow my plan that I actually have a mug that says, follow your plan. And this is facing me pretty much all day long, looking at it like this. And by the way, if you want to have this, go to store.rockwelltrading.com. It's $9 or $9.50 or something like this. And a really great reminder. Now, what is the key here? That you follow the plan, but in order to follow a plan, you must have a plan, right? So this is where it goes back again to trading strategy. So super important here. Now, I know that there is quite a few questions, but I want to give you a quick summary of what we have done thus far. So if we look at a summary, and again, I'll be happy to give you the notes here if you want them, if you find these notes helpful, and if you want to take a look at them. So Kevin from my team will make them available. Nicole, can you let everybody know where they can get the notes? So you need to go to rockwelltrading.com/app. I'll repeat it in just a moment. So summary, first of all, is it possible to trade for a living? And the answer for me is yes, because that's what I'm doing. Now, doesn't mean that you can do it. Again, this is why it's so important that you practice on a paper trading account first. So you gotta have the right trading psychology. How the heck do you spell psychology? There we go, right? And the trading psychology here is that you're aiming for SRC profits and not the YOLO every now and then. And how to start trading for a living. What are the things that you need? You need to have a strategy. You need to have the right tool. You need to have the right mindset. Now, if you are looking for a strategy, today I presented to you the wheel strategy, which I think is a great trading strategy because it's simple to understand and it gives you an edge, right? You also want to have the right tools, and for the right tools, I might be biased, but I think PowerX Optimizer is the best tool, not only for trading this strategy, but also for trading the PowerX strategy here. And the mindset, we already talked about this. So in a moment, I will look at your questions here, but has this been helpful at all? Because if it is, do me a favor right now and click on like really quick. When you can smash the like button, or you can just gently double tap it, which is fine as well. And let's just get going here and look at some of the questions that you have. And I appreciate you being live here, joining me live. And this is where, yes, I'll bring you on to the show here. So Cirque du Chalet says, it works. My account is up 75%. That's great. Okay, Teresa, so good to see you here. Happy Friday. And Fausto says, Okay, has been trading paper, PowerX Optimizer, 21 wins, 15 losses, and 1 win on my first wheel trade. That's great. And you see, Fausto, the good thing is that you are trading on a paper trading account and a simulator. It's super important in the beginning. Just need to make sure that you know what you're doing. So, anyhow, Stan says, thanks for the book. Oh yeah, if you're interested in the PowerX strategy, we already have the book available right now. So you can go to my website. There's a link in the description. Order the book. It's $4.95, which covers shipping and handling. Not quite, but I'll be happy to do this. Now, for the wheel, the book is coming. It will be available April 9th, and very soon we'll take pre-orders. We have a list. You can put your name on a list if you would like to know when this book is available. And we'll probably also offer it for $4.95. And as you can see, it's a nice book, 160 pages with all the rules that what you see in here. So if you enjoyed this video, you're going to love these books. Anyhow, so good to see everybody here. And yes, Andreas, this is a wheel traders community here. Okay, so Chad has been trading the wheel for some time now. Would look at it, looked at his results thus far for the quarter. 48% annualized gain. And you see, this is what I'm shooting for, 30% annualized. And the more you trade it, the more experience you get, and the more you're making no more mistakes, right? And you got to make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. Okay. So Frank says, when you sell the puts, you always say it's best to go when the price is going down. Does it mean that I want to sell calls? When I want to sell calls, the price go up? Yes. So in a nutshell, you want to sell puts when prices are going down, because then put premiums are more expensive. You get more money selling puts. And when prices are going up, you want to sell calls. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good, good, good. All right. So Ron says, what do you mean by a simulator? You see, there are brokerages who offer you a simulator. I'll cover it next week in one of the upcoming videos, which means that you get fake money. So you get like $50,000 or $100,000, and it's not real money. You can place orders, and the software pretends that you're placing these orders live in the market. And this way you can get a feel for it, and it's super important. I'm going to do a coffee with Markus around it next week. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video here. Okay, good. And Cirque du Soleil says, yeah, IV, implied volatility, is the key for selling higher premium, and this is why you want to have stocks that are volatile. And yeah, everything will be okay. And RM says, yeah, Wright is a good example of risks involved. So Wright came out today with news, not Wright, but Hindenburg. The Hindenburg report said, well, Wright is a problem. And yes, I do own stocks in Wright. So we will see if I might have to fly a rescue mission for this. I didn't do anything just yet because the news broke today. I'll see how it shakes out. Today we saw an initial reaction, but then immediately we were going back. We can actually just bring it up here really quick because, yeah, I'll talk about Wright more on Monday because I think it's super important. So with Wright here, you see we saw an initial reaction, a gap down. Then we were trading higher post-market. Right now we are trading higher. I'll talk about it in more detail next week. But yeah, you're absolutely right. When trading, there is risk involved. If there would be no risk, everybody and his grandmother would do it. Okay, anyhow. Good. So Roland says, does Markus, that would be me, make all of his money selling options, or does he also trade stocks? And if he trades stocks, how? I will cover this in one of the upcoming videos. So I promise probably another 2 weeks. So stay tuned, and I'll show you also how I trade stocks. So I will play stock trades together with you that you can follow along if you want to. So anyhow, let's see. And Timothy says, yeah, I trade 2 strategies, the PowerX and then the wheel strategy. Again, more information in here if you want. $4.95. It's a deal. It's a steal. On Amazon, it's like $25 or something like this. Okay, so we shall see. And yes, we will talk about Wright next week. Absolutely. Good. So let's see, what else do we have here? Roland says, I love it when it says good, good, good. You know what? Actually, the team made fun of it and made a mug. We have a mug that says good, good, good. So if you want this, go to the store. We're selling these mugs at cost. Really, it costs us $9 or $9.50 to make a a mug like this, but there's one with good if you want to have this. Julio, we'll talk about right next week, as I said. So right now, yeah, no. We'll talk more about it next week because I want to do it when the markets are open and I want to see how all of this is shaking out here. Okay, Brian says, do you ever feel cheated when you don't get assigned? Selling calls makes more money. That is true. And you see, there's, Brian, I'm glad that you're bringing it up. There are people who are afraid of getting assigned. They always say, I'll get assigned. If you are afraid of getting assigned, you didn't do a good job picking the right stock, because you're absolutely right. Selling calls is very, very lucrative. If we hop over to my account here, and if I'm sorting the P&L by size, I was assigned GDXJ, made $15,000 on it. I was assigned Win, made $8,700 on it. I was assigned Uber, made $5,600 in it. I was assigned Hal, made $3,600 on it. Apple, right. See, the ones that we are assigned are the ones that are really, really killing it. So yeah, absolutely. Getting assigned is part of the game. This is why I brought it up earlier. Let me just jump back here. This strategy consists actually of 3 steps, not only 1 step. If this is you, if you only want to sell puts and collect premium, there are other ways to do it. The wheel strategy is 3 steps: selling puts, getting assigned, selling calls. Glad that you bring it up. So this is where S. Jones, do you ever roll calls if the price above the strike, or just get it assigned? This is where, coming back to this, right, I like to have it getting assigned. And then if the stock gets called away, I can actually, I can sell more puts and start the wheel all over again, which I like to do. Anyhow, great question here. So let's see, what other questions do you have? Can you use ETFs or S&P 500 as collateral for margin instead of just cash? Talk to your broker. Your broker can explain it better than I can. I did a video on trading on margin. I'll link to it in the description. I think you're a little bit confused here. So watch the video. It's maybe 8 or 10 minutes, and we'll explain you everything you need to know for trading on margin. Okay. Good. So good to see everybody here. So Christopher says, what is your screening criteria to find the best stocks? I actually did a video on this. It's how to find the best stocks for the wheel. I'll link to it in the description. I did it 2 days ago, I believe, on Wednesday or on Monday. But I did it, so I'll show you all of my criteria in this video. We'll link to it in the description and also here in the chat, Christopher. You can take a look at this. Okay. Good. And Joto, yeah, it's best when you sell puts, when the stock is down. Exactly. Okay, so Jay Sani says, how are you getting high premium on support on these stocks only 2 weeks out? This is where you need to look for more volatile stocks. And this is where, again, I'm going back to this. I could not do this because the question is, how do I find these stocks, or how do I get this high premium? I could not do this without this tool, right? If I didn't have the scanner, I don't know how I would find it. I would probably never find it. Never ever in my life here. Anyhow, good. All right. So, yeah, this is playing Theta. And so Stockboy says, how much is the service per month? You know, right now I still do have a service. It's called Power Income Alerts. I don't know how much longer I will offer it, because honestly, I think it is much better when you have a tool and you can do it yourself. I mean, do you really want to rely on me sending you alerts, or would you rather have a tool that gives you every day, like clockwork, the best stocks? I mean, this is what I see. I'm just using this tool to issue these alerts, so you might as well invest in the tool and then have it for life and never be dependent on anybody, including myself. So don't be dependent on anybody. Okay. So Jaysani says, how many trades do you have open at once? A maximum of 5. So 5 trades, that is my maximum. That is my comfort level. This is what I recommend. If you are trying to put on too many trades, you might actually force trades. I recently talked to somebody who said, okay, I want to have at least 10 trades open. And this is when you need to scramble to find the trade. So I think 5 is, for me, the magic number here. Okay. Yeah, and Jeff says it's a one-time price for the software. Yeah, the software is not a subscription, so it's a one-time investment, and I also believe it's the best money you'll ever spend. Okay. Good. So, Calvin, the handy dandy iPad has failed you for the last time. I have, this is a crazy thing. Last weekend, I bought a brand new iPad. I brought a brand new pen. I brought a brand new keyboard. I spent $1,700 or $1,800, and I've been so busy over the past few days because we're releasing a new version of PowerX Optimizer, and we actually start beta testing it internally, or alpha testing, or whatever you call it, on Monday. I am so super excited. So probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will release a brand new version, and this has kept me so busy that the iPad that I bought is still laying right there on the shelf. I haven't even unpacked it. I promise I'll do it this weekend. Okay, good. So good to hear that these real life examples are helpful. That's perfect. And yes, I need to unpack this here. The iPad that I'm using, so where I'm doing all the magic here. This is a second generation iPad. It's a second generation iPad, so it's super old. What is it, like 4 years old or something like this? And yes, it is failing. So I gave in. So Jay Sandy says, how many contracts do I do? This really depends. This is where I go back when I show the iPad, right? Of what the calculator tells me how many contracts I should trade. You see, right here. It says me. You see it on the screen, right? So for Apple, for example, I did 8 contracts. For GDXJ, I did 20 contracts. For Neo, I would do 27 contracts if I did that. So anyhow, that's what I do. Calvin says, Mark is my favorite Scotsman. Do you think that I'm Scottish? If you think that I'm Scottish, you are mistaken. I'm German. 100% German. First generation. Second, third. No, whatever generation. No, I mean, my parents, grandparents, grandparents. I mean, my roots are in Germany. I moved to the US in 2002. What is that? Almost 19 years ago. So the accent that you're hearing is, or supposed to be, a German accent. Maybe it blended in with Texan accent. Anyhow. So Frank said, traded the 37 put on Neo. Great for you. It's Frank. So you see the same that I see when you're using the same tools here. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Joette says, after 2 weeks selling puts with a $10,000 account, we have made $251. And you see, that's where it's important. It's so important that you have the right mindset and you grow your account systematically. You see, I rather have you make $250 in 2 weeks and be able to repeat this again and again and again. This is how you grow your account. Super, super important. So yes, thanks for sharing this. Stay with it. Okay. Good. So what else do we have here? I love it how you are actually answering questions for me, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Jeff and I talked recently. Jeff is in Alaska and it was brutally cold. How much was it? It was like 20 below or something like this, or 30 below. It's crazy. Yeah. So Jeff is part of our mastermind here. Anyhow. Good. Let's see what other questions do we have? Okay, so Magic Kabbalah says, what is the main difference between the wheel and Theta King? Both are selling put. This is correct. And Theta Kings actually stops right here. So Theta Kings is only selling puts. So you never ever with Theta Kings want to own the stock. It's another strategy that I like to trade during market crashes. So I traded this strategy last year. I really started it almost a year ago and was able with this strategy to double an account in a matter of 6 or 8 weeks, something like this. There's videos on this channel here. If you want to look for Theta Kings, you see what I did. And this is perfect when the market is taking a nosedive here. So Magic Kabbalah, this is the Theta Kings. Okay, good. What else do we have? So Gerald says, do you invest in long-term stocks as well as trading the wheel or just trading? I'm not a long-term investor. My investments are in real estate. I used to own apartment complexes. I just sold my second apartment complex last week. Sold it for 4.3 million, something like this. And right now I'm looking for new apartment complexes. So here I'm trading for a living and then I'm investing in real estate to just grow my net worth. So this is why I personally do not like to buy and hold stocks for a long time here. Anyhow, so Mick says it's a nice tool, but the entry price is very expensive for small accounts. Would be excellent if there was an option to make multiple payments over time. Mick, you know what? Contact my team. Call or text the office or shoot an email to support@rockwelltrading.com. Talk to them. See what we can do for you, right, Mick? If you are serious about trading, if you want to have the tool, and if you say right now you're in a spot where you cannot afford the one-time price, which I think is very, very reasonable, contact the office and see what they can do for you. They can probably help you. Okay, good. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have? So Tom says, we need a small program to get started with your company. Can't afford a one-shot deal. Same for you. Tom, please call or text the office. See if we have a deal right now. Often the team runs specials. I don't even know about this because I love trading and I love talking to you, right? So I'm not too involved in the business part here. I just need to make sure that we can actually pay the development team, that we can pay for the data. So this is why we are charging a price for it. And it also makes sure that we are only attracting traders like you who are serious about this. And this is the main criteria for me and also my team. When we see that you're serious about trading, we'll work with you. We'll find something. Just contact the team, call, text, email, whatever is easiest for you. And I'm sure that they can help you out. All right. Fantastic. Well, time is flying when you're having fun. Well, today we were talking about how to trade for a living. And I hope that you caught the whole presentation. If not, the good thing is it lives on the YouTubes forever. I'm going live 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell. This way you get notified whenever I go live. And I will go live again in 45 minutes from now. That's what I do. Quick stock market updates in 5 minutes or less. My daughter Vivian actually said I should call it Markets with Markus. And I think it's pretty catchy. What do you think? Markets with Markets. And it's 5 minutes at 5 o'clock Eastern time. So tune in and I will see you in the next video. Oh, make sure that you share this video with anybody who you feel might benefit from it. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, share it wherever you want. Okay, have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.